Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our monthly Team Grit call. We have a ton to talk about tonight. My notes are all over the place, but it is great content. We have a lot of strategy that we want to talk about. Leaders Retreat was announced. We all know that the cruise is coming and the contest has already exploded. This month is double credits. And if you were on the last call that Kristen was just hosting, we got some goals down. We know where we're heading. But Tova and I wanted to clarify on how to really get there, what it's going to entail, different things that we have learned over the years, strategy, just in the course that we're doing right now, how to properly post in 2023. We're going to lead you through all of this. So it might come as like an overload, but I promise just write it all down and practice it. That's the only way we're going to get better with this. Hold on one second. Actually, I have to plug in my phone because it will die on us. Okay, so first and foremost, what do we need to do to get on this cruise? And Tova broke it down with an incredible video. If you haven't watched it yet, go to the Empower Team page. She has, there's no confusion after watching this video. There's a tracker, there's everything that you would need. But we're going to tell you kind of like the backstage kind of stuff. So you know what you should do. You know, IPA, doing it daily, bumping it up. We know all of these things, but what else? And a couple of things that I have written down, and I want everybody to interact in the chat. This is what I love most about the Team Grit calls is we can chat during these calls and kind of interact. I think that it's just warm and inviting. So when you go to a social event, which means your kid's sport, it means going to the gym, it means going to a church group. Write in the chat, are you the one talking to everybody or are you the mom in the car? Let me know need to know who we are. Let's see. Talking. Okay, so far. Oh, Maddie's in the car, Tier's in the car. These are normal, but in this type of business, it's really important for you to get out and mingle. Get out and talk. Get out and make friends. Get out and get people's social media. You don't have to talk a thing about Plexus. And that's what I really want to drive home right now, because we're not looking to jump out of the car and say, oh my God, buy my pink drink. It's great. We're here to make friends. And then in turn, they're going to see your post. Regardless, your shop is always open on social media. They're going to see your post. Make friends.
Keep me posted.
Tova, be my friend. Yes. Emily, can you mute Lovey? Okay, so yes, get out, make friends, get people social media, go out to coffee, go grab lunch, go do something with these friends. And it doesn't have to happen right away. So hear me out. We all get in our brains. We're like, well, if it didn't happen, then it's over. Set a date. I met a girl at the gym today and I was like, oh my God, this would be so fun to just connect a little bit more. Her daughter had the same name as my daughter. I was like, we should get coffee. And she was like, we absolutely get coffee. Change numbers because she was running out to work. And I'm going to message her probably tomorrow. So don't seem like such a creeper. I'm not going to message her tonight and be like, coffee tomorrow. No, I'm going to set it for like the end of the week. Hey, what day is good for you? Let's, have coffee. So that's social events. Get out, make those friends. That's going to bump up your network organically. Hands down. That's what it's going to do. And then I highly recommend doing an actual event in person once a month. They're out there. I just booked one for me, Arena, and Tiara at a big convention here in Fayetteville. We're ready to rock. That's going to get you even more of a network. Kristen, you just did a slew of events. Wendy did, Arena did. Would any of you like to just unmute yourself and just say what the outcome of those events were?
Many contacts. Oops,
yeah.
sorry.
Well, go ahead,
No,
Wendy.
How
Good.
was the outcome of your, like, did you have good contacts? Did you make new friends? How was that?
Both. Got I think 3 signs out of that, I believe. It was very good.
That is wild. That's like 30 contacts, 30 reach outs worth of work in one day.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Kristen, how about you?
So I've done 4 since March. I had 3 in April, 1 in March. I have a new business builder from the event. Yuvia is now on the team. I met her at the first event. She became a product user and now already a business builder. And I think I've gotten about 7 joins just from the events. And the one I just did April 29th, I'm sure the fruit will come for May, because it was so at the tail end. But guys, events is where it's at. Everyone loves the pink drink. It just fills your cup right back up. Like if you are having a smidge of a doubt about what you're doing here, go out and do a live event. It will fill you back up. You will see that everybody gets it and they like it and you're talking and it just lights your fire. So definitely do it. I plan to do it at least once a month going forward.
That's awesome. Donna, you just done a Moultrie. You just had one recently. And did you get a sign right there at the table? I saw you dropping it like it was hot. How did you do?
Actually, that was my first one, and it went really well. And, of course, I'm nervous as I don't know what, but actually the people made me feel better. So as they came along, it was good. Plus I had Yolanda there. And she thought I was just this magic, whatever. I was like, girl, I didn't know what I was doing. But it turned, we actually got like 10 people that we've actually have like talking with now. So everybody that actually gave me their thing, we're having conversations. So that's a plus. Nobody ghosted me after they gave me their information. So I take that as a plus. Plus I got to meet a lot of networking with a lot of the leaders around the area. So I take that as a huge win.
Yeah, that is a learning experience in itself. It's right there. You're learning from other successful people and you're right there with the successful people because you are a successful person. That's what
I thank you.
All of us, we are all entrepreneurs sitting here. This business is not easy. We are all getting out of our comfort zones, doing scary things. And I know Raina's done some events herself. Tova and I are doing some events. It's so fruitful. So I really encourage all of you and challenge you, go to an event at least once a month. Now, once a week. So going back to the goal setting call, what we can do weekly, another challenge, write this down. I want you to go through all of your level 1s that have been ordering from you and ask them to do a messenger event. Right there from one person, you are going to get several contacts. And if you go through all of your level 1s and ask them to do a messenger event, and we have wording for this, I'll put it in Grit later, but send it out. Let them know, hey, listen, I'd love for you to be on this cruise, but if it's not, I'm working towards this. Would you do me a solid? Like, would you help me out? Would you shoot me some referrals? There's so many things that we could get to start filling all of those. Look, Wendy just said friend and her did one. They got 2 signs out of it. That's right there. This is low hanging fruit. And these are your sleeping giants. These are people that know and love the products, but just maybe not have been asked, or they have been, but they didn't feel comfortable enough to go for the big opportunity. But they're ready to help you in any way. I asked one of my close friends here. She said, I would do anything you'd like to help you out. Raina was there when I sent that message, and I was scared. I was scared to send it, and I did. And she said, I'll do anything. I'll post for you. I'll do an event for you. Whatever you need, you just ask. I was like, let's go. So right there, I was, my cup was full. I knew my confidence level was up, and I'm ready to ask again. Don't hesitate to ask the question. Tova, did you want to jump in for a second?
I think you're hitting on most of it. I don't want to, be repetitive. Just be brave. And guys, doing something is better than, nothing perfect kind of thing. I'll get caught up in that. And if I'm not totally sure how to do something, I want to research it a little more before I do it. So be willing to do it messy. People relate. I know it's not comfortable. I hate doing anything messy. But often people will relate to you even more because they feel like, oh, well, they don't have it all figured out either. So if you feel more comfortable doing a Facebook group instead of a messenger event, it's better to do something than nothing. Or pair up with someone who's done it. Like, if they don't have to be in your downline or something, guys, like, we'll help you. I'll come into any event you want. If you just want some activity and some support in there to feel like it's a little warmer.
Yeah, we're all here to help each other. That's the beauty of this team. Like, we really are. We're a solid community and just looking to boost each other up. Okay, so another way, so we just talked about events. We talked about boosting our social media, boosting our networking, boosting our relationships, making those friends, setting those dates. Another thing, so we've been doing, some of us have been doing a content kind of workshop with Bob Heilig. He's kind of going through the 2023 way of communicating your business online. And I don't mean to scare y'all, but what was working in 2020, it's evolved. There's way more things that we can be doing. And I tested it the past 2 posts that I did. Stories sell, y'all. People were so intrigued and reading about my daughter getting her ears pierced. And then I threw in there that I was able to be there with her. I wasn't sick. I wasn't having a panic attack, watching her there. I had so many likes and comments on there. It was like explosive. And so I'm going to try it again. And that's what he is talking about. Now I can guide you. I can give you ideas. So I wrote down a couple different things that I would like to talk about each day. So instead of looking at it like this huge, I don't know what to talk about today, you guys can write this down and I'll put it in grid as well. But there's just some things that I'm like, okay, this is good content that I don't have to be like, buy my pink drink, it's 10% off, it's great. We got to get away from that because that's hitting on triggers and people are like, she's one of them. So let's put it into our story. So some things that I have made my posts focused on: product focused, time focused, kids focused, and I'm going to go into examples of how I do this. Science focused, problem focused. I have one for each day of the week, y'all, and extra. Business focused. I'm going to throw in a sample challenge. Here or there, we like to do that in live events. So I'm going to talk to you how I'm going to do that. Gender neutral, focused, men. Let's talk about the men. We always say we want to grow our men's side and we're not talking about them enough. Let's talk about it. Fitness focused and energy focused. These are just some things that I have written down. This is not limited to what you can talk about as well. So what do I mean by fitness focus? I'm not going to put up a YouTube video of somebody doing some kind of workout and saying, I love active because I get to go to the gym. I'm going to tell a story. Today, I didn't feel like going to the gym. I didn't feel like going to the gym at all. And I got up, I put on my gym clothes, I got in the car, I was halfway there, and then I drank my Pink and Active, and there was no turning back. Like, once I went that far, I was like, I'm going to the gym. I feel good. I'm going to go. I made it into a story. I'm not just telling them Slim and Active will get you to the gym. Try it. I'm telling them how I used it, how it worked for me. You can even tell them how it works for your husband, however that works. I can tell. So like Men Focus, when I say Men Focus, I'm not pulling up like just the testimony. I'm saying my husband has a jump today and he doubled up on his ease because he knows that that's going to make him feel so much better. He's not going to be achy all over, really including my husband. I get so nervous that he's jumping. It makes me scared. So I used to have these panic attacks. I probably wouldn't have even gone to go watch him. Now we make it a family event. Hey, Dad's jumping out of another helicopter today. Let's go see him. Like, make it interesting. And the best way to start a story, get a caption. Get that nobody can turn. Like, they can't turn away. They want to read your post. Christina did one today, and oh, I can't remember. Look at her stories. Christina Williams did one today, and she
She's
came
talking
up.
about her daughter's teeth because her daughter
Yes.
like smashed her face, and I want to see a picture, and she hasn't put it up yet. She put up an old picture, and I'm like,
But what was her starter line?
I can't remember, but I do
Like-
want to go follow up on her page and see what happened to her daughter's teeth.
But it was almost like, let's just say that my daughter knocked her teeth out. Oh my God.
Right.
I'm gonna go look for that picture. I don't know why. It sounds crazy, but I'm gonna go see, what did she do? Like, how? I'm gonna go and see that. Whatever she did, I almost did that in softball. There's so much content out there, but people are interested, but give them a hook. Let them know what they're gonna get. Sample challenge. So this was one that we use at live events. And I've shared this with many of you, maybe not all of you if you're new. We do 3 sticks of the pink drink for $5 or 3 sticks of pink, 3 active for 10. And we put it out there. Hey, I'm starting this challenge, this pink drink and active challenge next week. Who wants to do it with me? It's $5. Who wants to do it with me? It's $10. Make it huge, like make it really big. And then you get all their names. They invoice you. They send it through Venmo, Cash App, and you mail it out. That's it. And then you set a start date. So nobody else goes and does it ahead of you. Set a start date. Hey, next week on Friday, we're going to do this so we could pop off the weekend. And everybody gets into a messenger chat, and we just pump each other up. Have a team member in there. Always have a team member to boost you as well. So if I'm going, and then I'll invite Tova, and she's like, yeah, I just drank mine. It's amazing. Have somebody in there, but keep the energy lit. And if you can get anybody that slim and active in that first shot, hands off. It's good stuff. So that's how I do my samples. Tova, do you want to go into any that you've been doing?
Not specifically, but I wanted to hit on a few content things. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
So you guys are going to hear us talk all about this, and really what I want you to keep in mind is our goal. Natalie said it best the other day on our call. There's good, there's better, and there's best. So we're constantly going to be trying to see where are we at and where can we go. And as with any company, you look at Plexus over the past 5 or 10 years, they've added all sorts of products, they've added training, they've changed their packaging. Like, they are constantly evolving with what their customers want and need. And so we're no different with that. And I can definitely be guilty of getting kind of, once I learn a system, it's comfortable and I know it and I just want to stick with it. And you can't be tone deaf to if that's not working anymore for your customers. So people's you've probably heard the term sales resistance, and what we're seeing is a lot of posts people used to enjoy seeing and enjoy reading. They're so bombarded with sales stuff, thousands of ads a day, that it's kind of, they're putting us in this bucket in their head of like Target and whoever else, Walmart, Amazon, and we don't want to be in that bucket because our brain, mark my hat off, I'm so serious. Our brain wants to constantly put things in boxes. And so we got to be intentional with what box we're in with people. We want to be in the trusted advisor friend box. All right. We're one of their friends that they would ask for advice on a variety of topics, health being one of them. Right. So people, when they think of Plexus, they can think of you, but you in essence shouldn't be just the Plexus girl. You should be their friend, their coworker, their whatever. You have this in common with them, or you're always interested in their story. You need to find something that if they came to you and said, I never want to buy Plexus ever, like whatever, they like, we're upfront with that. Don't ever ask me, I'm never going to buy Plexus. And you wanted to stay friends with them. What kind of stuff would you exchange? What kind of info would you exchange? And make sure you're including that, because those people always come around, by the way. And I've never had anyone say that to me, but I want you to post with that intentionality. And guys, think back, as adults, we really get in a rut with this. When's the last time you learned and honed a new skill? It's been a hot minute for most of us. Okay. Like the first time I had to do ventilators, they were very complicated. And by the end, I could do them with my eyes closed. It's just practice and learning a new thing. And so whenever we add new things in our business, of course, you're not going to be like superb at it at first. We're going to have to stumble through and learn new things. So when it comes to content, if you're not sure, I can't stress enough to ask. So things that you used to see posted around that might, anything that looks hand-drawn or cartoony, don't, guys. Okay, just don't. Like, stay away from that. Stick with pictures, real pictures of yourself, pictures of the graphics. If you're not sure, just ask. We don't ever mind. And don't be afraid to ask. Just because you're not sure what to do, or you used to use one type of graphic and you're trying to use a new type, doesn't mean like you aren't good at this or you don't know the answers. Don't tell yourself that story. People who ask questions are the people who are growing. But I think that's pretty much what I wanted to hit on. Sabrina, did I leave anything out?
No, I just wanted, the best pictures that you can get are of yourself, are of who you're talking about. So if I'm going to put up like a kids focus post, I'm going to put my kids on a jungle gym. I'm going to put my kids up there. Like Togo said, I don't do anything like cartoony or handwritten or anything fuzzy or anything that I have found that kind of looks like an ad I would see on
Or
Pinterest.
memes, like Plexus memes, stay away from those. They're fun.
Yeah.
Drop them in our
Old logos, that's a big one. Yes, Kristen. So you want to evolve. People want to see your beautiful face. They want to connect with you. This is your business. You don't have to put up a picture. And I'm convicted. Listen, I'm convicted on this as I'm telling you. Like I was talking to Arena the other day about this and I was like, ugh. You don't have to say at the end of your message me. I have this sale. Message me if you want it. Let me tell you, they already know that they can message you. And they don't have to tell me, because if they put up something about, if they were just strutting around in these beautiful shoes, I would naturally go ask them, where did you get them? They know you're the Plexus person. And by telling them to message you, it's probably triggering them to not. And I didn't know this until last week, y'all. So you are not behind the bandwagon. I literally am learning this myself. Keep it stories, keep it relational, and connect on all levels. But try to keep anything that seems salesy out. And then we're going to work on this together. We can go through content. So what we're doing with Bob Heilig right now is he puts up a content that we're supposed to follow, and his staff comes through and he checks it and he'll let you know what to change. So we can do that. If you're open to that, let us know if you want us to check your content, or send it to us if you're not sure beforehand, and we'll help you. Well, we're here, we're learning alongside you. But I don't want you to not do it because you're scared. So just ask us, hey, does this sound good? What would you change? This is the picture I'm gonna use. What would you think? And then we can, and then if I'm not really 100% sure, I'll be like, Tova, what do you think?
And guys,
Let-
it's tiny changes. I don't want you to get overwhelmed with it because at first I was like, so I can't post anything I've been posting. That's literally how I felt when I first heard Bob Heilig, and that's not it. So the saved album is really, worst case, terrible day, busy day, use some of the saved album, but it's really to spur ideas. So if you go in there and find an X Factor post, like, what do I think about vitamins? What have I ever thought about vitamins? I think they smell really bad, and I've always thought you pee most of them out. And I didn't realize like you need this methylation thing for them to be absorbed. So the point is, I'm going to tell my story about what I thought of them versus just putting up a bunch of facts about them, both of which are true, by the way. But people are going to be more interested if I'm like, I used to dry heat when I smelled vitamins. And by the way, fun tip, if those posts do stink to you, just take them out and put them in a pill case and they air out and they don't stink anymore. There was another example I wanted to give, a testimony. I did that the other day. I wanted to share like Emily Haas's testimony, and you can still share testimonies. Just try to get creative with it and tie it into you. And I tied it into like aging has made me scared in the past, and I've been nervous in the past and like stressed out about aging. And literally watching these Plexus women 10, 20 years ahead of me, I'm not worried. You see those side by sides. And Emily, not that I put up a bunch of Michelle Stuchel, but Emily's 42. Does not look 42. I don't know if you guys saw that post. So I could have just chucked Emily's story up there, who none of my friends know. Or I still incorporated Emily and then put a little bit of vulnerability up there with me and crap, other people are thinking. So this is a muscle to work out, and it might take our helping you just for a few weeks, and then you're going to be like, oh, it's going to click and you're going to be fine. So don't feel bad if you need help, or if we give you feedback, it's to make you your best version.
100%. And I want, going into connection, so this is my last tip for all of you, right in the chat. How many ongoing conversations do you have in your messenger right now, not Plexus related? This is good. Tiara, we got to work on that. No biggie though. No biggie. Why I say this is relationship building. Natty, we're going to boost yours up. I did not have very many. I truly did not. So I have gone in, and let me tell you how easy this is. I started 7 today. That's how easy it is. I went to people's stories. One of my girlfriend's daughters were at, they're a traveling cheer team and they're in Disney. I was like, how did you go to that? That looks so much fun. Tell me everything. We have been back and forth all day long. And she's a dream teamer, by the way. And I've never messaged her about the business. And we've just been going back and forth all day long. I'm in 7 of them now. So don't feel like you're behind the curve. Just start messaging. Stories are the easiest way to start any type of conversation. If you haven't seen somebody or talked to somebody in a while and they put up, guys, like a quote, answer back about the quote and ask a question. Never leave the conversation in a statement. Always end with a question. Even if it's, where did you get that quote from? That was so good. Or what have you been up to? I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. Let them know if that's how you feel like you haven't talked to them. Get it off your chest right away. Haven't talked to you in a while. I'd love to know what's going on. Start the conversations. This is how we're going to organically just ease into the business, because people are going to see your post. They don't need you to tell them, hey, did you see my post? They don't need, because it's there. It's right there for viewing. We don't need to tell them because they know. So I hope this wasn't like an overload. I want you all to take tiny steps, tiny little tweaks. Nothing has to be drastic. I still want us all posting, but we'll just be a little bit more conscious because these last 2 days, go back to yesterday, my last post yesterday, and just see how many comments and likes are on there compared to one I did last week. It's night and day. It was all Plexus girls for the past several months. And then yesterday it popped off and there was people I didn't even know messaging me on there. So this was just like a phenomenal, I don't know, learning session that we've had. And I wanted to share it with all you to make all of you your best selves. And listen, this is like new stuff. So we're getting ahead of everybody else who is still doing it the old way and wondering why it's not working. Okay, so this is new, just came out like 2 days ago, ways of really interacting. Jump ahead of the curve so when people catch on, you're at the top, y'all. So we have nothing to worry about. This is new. I wish you all tons of like happy storytelling. Let's all try. Toba, do you have the Bob Heilig, the first? Can you read that out loud? And then we'll all, for tomorrow's post, try to go off of this first one. If you're already in the Bob Heilig training, let's just do it again. We'll just do it again as a team.
I gotta find it. And then I wanted to drop a few things in. Here's the link.
And I think your microphone's a little bit weird.
Oh, I'm probably mumbling. Oh, sorry. Is that better?
A little bit better,
A little bit, not much.
not much.
I'll just lean in real close. No. Is it still the same or is it any better?
A little bit better.
Okay. I'll find it in a second. Just a few things I wanted to add. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No.
So these might seem kind of random, but just notes I had down kind of on my mind to tell you guys. Make sure when you are thinking through things in the business and maybe speaking things over yourself, or I'm not good at that, or I don't like going to socialize with people. I want you to add the word yet, Y-E-T onto it, and it changes the entire feeling. I'm not the mom that likes to get out of my car and talk yet. Okay. I'm not the event person yet. All right. It's a really easy exercise because we say this stuff all the time. These are stories we tell ourselves, and like, I'm just not a people person yet, guys. So it'll put you in a learning mindset. I really encourage you to try to do that, and it'll be powerful. Three-way chats. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention. So goals of three-way chats, of course, we want to leverage those constantly. And if you feel like your three-way chat is kind of in a lull, so go back in and ask a question, try to get it back oriented to the problem, and just repeat to the person and be like, I want to make sure I understand, like, this is really what you're struggling with. And I was thinking about you the other day and how it really sucks that you're struggling with that. And maybe ask them one other question. But the point is, if you're at a standstill where you really know and you've checked in with them, it's really good, especially for the upline person, to confirm. This is why we ask questions. We ask questions, they say their problems, and we give them informational solutions to problems. But they need to articulate their problems. So in the chat, you can say, you said you've really been having a hard time sleeping. I've seen this help so many people. I really think it's going to make a difference for you. Are you ready to give it a try? You got to go through with that last piece because you got to get the answer to that. That doesn't mean anything about that person as a customer. They're going to say, no, I'm not ready yet. Or yeah, a lot of times they say, yeah, they're just waiting on you to close them. Very few people are going to close themselves. Like people like me, Franny, Kristen are going to be like, okay, ring me out. Other than that, people aren't going to act like that. And if someone tried to close me, it'd be bad. No, I'm just joking. So make sure you're getting them there. And if they say, no, I just don't think I'm ready yet, or no, doesn't sound like a good fit, say, I totally hear you. It's definitely not for everybody. I want you to feel good about it. Can you tell me what's holding you back? Can you tell me what your biggest question or hesitation is? And then we can go from there. Cost is a common one that you're gonna hear from people on nowadays. And the biggest thing I say, I like to quickly respond. We can say all sorts of little things about it's only this much a day and the value of your health. And those things are important, but immediately affirming someone, because that's not fun to say. That's not fun to say to someone like, no, it's not in the budget. It's way more fun to say yes. So to be able to say, if it's true, like, hey, that is literally why I started talking about these products, because they work so well and I wanted to keep taking them, and it was several hundred a month because I kept buying more and more, and I want them for my husband too. So if you're curious to learn how I got them for free, let me know. So make sure it's just right off the bat. Don't even take this big break and then come back. And if you'd be interested in sharing and getting your products paid for, like right there with the cost objection, just recognize, yes, I totally feel that. You're not the only person that has said that. I actually had several girls start last month, and they decided to tell a few people in order to get their products paid for. So let me know if you want to learn more. It's as simple as that. So if you got to have that typed up and saved in your boards, do that. If you want to voice message it to yourself a few times, so it's saved, and then you can forward the voice message, that's always fun. That's not date and time stamped, so that's an easy little trick. And I know we've kept you guys for a long time, so I don't want to keep you long. With retention, brainstorm, what are some of the best customer service experiences you've ever had? I went to AT&T today, which usually feels like going to the DMV, and it was an amazing experience. It's this specific AT&T store, and I'm going to do a story on it. But there was things that woman did and said and treated me like that stood out in my head. And I was like, if only everyone would act like you, like they'd have way more loyal customers. So think of an experience you've had, and then think of how can I give that to my people? How can I just make that little bit of a difference that other people in other companies aren't? And that will lead to higher retention. Go ask your people, what are your perk points? Even if you know them, go ask them. They need to know what perk points are, how to find their perk points. Go make them find them. That's a great follow-up. Be like, hey, I just was curious. Our system doesn't always show us. How many perk points are you up to? How many free products can you get this month? And just leave it. Guys, you've started a whole follow-up. You're now educating them. And then the last thing, I promise I'll stop talking. I love this quote. I don't know who it's by. If you want to go somewhere you have never been, you must do things you have never done, right? Whether that's drive a new path, fly somewhere, new job. If you want to go somewhere with your goals this month, next few months that you haven't ever gone, that means we're going to have to do some things you've never done before. And that's okay. And that'll feel uncomfortable and scary, but we have to decide, where do you want to go? Where are we at? And where we're at is really everything you've ever tried before. Because if that was enough to take you, you'd already be to your goal. So whatever you're doing is not enough, and that's okay. But we got to add some stuff in. That might just be volume, might be doing the exact same stuff, but more and higher intensity. Or it might be adding all new stuff in with events. But that's where coaching comes in. Do your goal sheets, sign up for coaching, and let's make you like a plan to plug and play.
All right, guys.
I'll drop Bob Heilig's thing in our chat.
Yes. And then everybody, if we can do our post for tomorrow off of the Bob Heilig, just so we can start getting used to writing a little bit of a story, and then ask somebody, does this sound okay? And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, either me or Sabrina, send it. Hey, this is my idea for the day one post. This is what I'm thinking. I called Natalie for the first 3 days and was like, I need help. What should I do? So it's okay, guys. If you're not sure what to post, we will help you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time tonight. I can't wait to see what May brings for us. Let's utilize these new tools and get ahead of everybody else. I love you all. Have a good night.